North Carolina means very much to me. I spent 10 summers at Camp Carolina in Brevard and fell in love with the beautiful mountains and also the cool weather. And so coming from central South Carolina, the low country of South Carolina, Charleston, Beaufort, Hilton Head, Parris Island, gosh, to be here, you really are in the promised land. So y'all, I'm very grateful to be up here, and all four of my sons went to Camp Carolina for 10 consecutive summers. And so it had a very positive effect on them. All credit to my wife, 4 Eagle Scouts, 4 fellows serving in the military. Our oldest son served for a year in Iraq with the field artillery. Our second son is the only one off track. He's a doctor in the Navy. And he served with the Rangers and the SEALs in Iraq. And then our other son, our third son, is a signal officer, Army National Guard. And then our baby son, age 24, is currently attending Officer Basic course engineer at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. And as a Gamecock, it's hard for me to tell you that he is a graduate of an upstate school in South Carolina called Clemson. But the bottom line, all of us were so positively affected by the extraordinary environment you have here and how beautiful Western North Carolina is. And it can only be better if you have a Republican Congress member, so this is good. And I want to congratulate y'all. You made history 2 years ago, for the first time in 130 years, to have a Republican House and Senate. And then you very thoughtfully redistricting. And I have a good feel about your redistricting capabilities, Mr. Chairman, that through redistricting, you should have a long-term Republican majority in the General Assembly. And then I'm counting on, through proper and very fair redistricting, that the delegation here will shift from 7-6 of another party to 10-3 Republican.
There you go.
That's obviously, Senator, to where we have a good environment. And so we've gained a seat. Another state up the East Coast called Massachusetts lost a seat. My goodness, there could be a message there. And so, so by gaining a seat, actually the district I represent, it's really tough. I will be giving up Hilton Head Island, but I pick up Aiken, South Carolina, which is where the Republican Party started in the 1950s in South Carolina. And it was started by, no surprise, transplants. I think y'all have some here.
But they're on the other side.
We love having those people from Ohio and Pennsylvania and California. And we're gaining in Aiken now a number of people from Southern California who want to be in an equestrian environment, and that's what Aiken provides. So, and also a much better environment in terms of taxes. So we need to keep that and promote it, and that's why I'm excited about this coming election. I know we have a positive agenda that the American people and people of North Carolina, Buncombe County, and you will redeem yourself this year because we have a positive agenda, and that is to create jobs. It should have been done, and it should be bipartisan, as Ronald Reagan did, as John F. Kennedy did. You cut taxes. That's how you grow the private sector to create jobs. The current administration is just dead wrong and also failed. The president said that he would, through his borrowing and spending, that he would make sure that unemployment didn't exceed 8%. Sadly, he was dead wrong. Just on June the 1st, the numbers have come out again. 40 consecutive months of unemployment over 8%. And increasing again, sadly, to 8.2%. And then today, again, the numbers come back. And that is an increase in the number of people who are seeking unemployment compensation. And then they, of course, had to revise the ones from last week, that those were wrong, they were higher still. And so and we say this out of sadness, but the policies of big government do not work. They've truly never worked anywhere. And they will lead to catastrophe for the people of our country. And also, and then energy. Wow, what a difference we have. Governor Romney has made it very clear that he would approve the development of the Keystone Pipeline right away. And by doing that, that creates jobs. And I am particularly appreciative because it means jobs in South Carolina. We make, in Lexington, South Carolina, Michelin makes the very nice tires that are used in the oil sands of Alberta. I was there in October. As you notice, these tires are very nice. They're 12 feet high. They cost $60,000 each. We want our number one ally, Canada, to buy more of them. In fact, and the president was wrong. He said that Keystone would only produce temporary jobs. No, these are 300 permanent jobs in the community I represent, my home community of Lexington, South Carolina. And indeed, now Michelin has announced they're expanding those facilities. And then right next door, Bridgestone, which is Japanese, is going to double their tire manufacturing capability to also build off-road tires so that we can develop the oil sands of Canada. And then MTU, which is a German company, makes the engines, and when I say engines, about half the size of this room, not little engines, nice engines. 300 people make engines in Graniteville, South Carolina, in Aiken County, and these are shipped to Alberta, Canada, to develop the oil sands. And so this is how we develop our energy and also jobs. And then finally on national defense. I'm really honored to be the chairman of the Military Personnel Subcommittee of the House Armed Services Committee. I served 31 years in the Army Guard and Reserve. I've got 4 sons in the military, 3 in the Army Guard, 1 in the Navy. I have a nephew in the Air Force. And so I'm directly involved, and I care about service members, military families, and our veterans. And this administration is assaulting them. We know they're assaulting them because there was an effort to do away with TRICARE and to merge it into Obamacare, which would have killed it. But the assault is a reduction in our military to where it will be the smallest army since 1939. That year should be remembered. That was the year that Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler got together and figured out that the Western countries did not have resolve to resist an invasion because the armies had been so reduced. And so it put our country at risk. And that's why on September 2nd, 1939, they invaded Poland. And so we should learn from a lesson, and that is that we know, first of all, from Ronald Reagan, peace through strength. But we also know that weakness can lead to war. And so we need to have a strong national defense. And we have a situation where the Navy is being reduced to the smallest size since 1916. The Air Force is being reduced to the smallest size since it was created in 1947. This gives false message overseas. We have enemies, and when they carry signs, death to America, death to Israel, that's what they mean. And what they believe, and I've been to Iraq 11 times, Afghanistan 11 times, sadly our enemies believe that the Americans and Israelis have the watch. They've got the time. All they have to do is wait us out. And what the president is doing by reducing our military and cutting back on our military capabilities is putting our country at risk. They like to indicate that they're strongly in favor of peace, but actually these policies are inadvertently promoting a circumstance of instability around the world. That's why we have a positive message, and I'm just so confident that this year North Carolina will get back on track. You've already come a long way, and then the governor, lieutenant governor, wow. I'm just really excited for y'all. And a final point, I do have to point out, the very first southern state to have a Republican speaker was South Carolina in 1994, just 1994. And in the meantime, every single southern state, from Virginia to Texas and Oklahoma, each one now has a Republican state house and state senate. 95% of the people in the South now live in Republican states except for one, Arkansas. And they're going to be back on track. I have spoken to Tim Griffith and Steve Womack, and those are the new Republican congresspeople from Arkansas. John Bozeman is their U.S. Senator. All of them have promised me that they will make sure that we complete the situation of a fully Republican south, and y'all joined in just 2 years ago. So it's exciting to be with you. Make those calls. I know your colleagues of South Carolina look forward to campaigning up here in any way that we can be of assistance. But thank you for your efforts. Every phone call means a lot. And so just however we can be of assistance, let us know. When you come up to Washington after you visit your new Republican member of Congress next year, or if not sooner, come by 2229 Rayburn House Office Building. That's the office that I am in, and you'll be welcome. And particularly if you say Buncombe County, you say Asheville, you say Western North Carolina. The people in our office know what that means. That means very good and very beautiful. So hey, thank you all so much.